Hitambat, speaker, author, and trainer. And today in this vlog, I'd like to speak to you about dealing with toxic people and bullies. Now, this is a topic that is very close to my heart, and in my own life, I have experienced bullying and toxic people, like many of you out there. They're all about the place. And especially as a kid growing up, I was bullied in school, you know. Um, and now my actual sort of part of my business is actually helping people to deal with bullies and toxic people by teaching them assertiveness, confidence, communication skills. I do this in schools and colleges with young people, and I also do it with businesses because, as we know, workplace bullying still happens and carries on and is an unfortunate thing that people experience. So, I just want to give you a few thoughts and ideas on this. But just going back to sort of my school days, I remember there was a little short chap. He was quite short, but he was a bit of a bully. Um, and and he had decided for some reason to bully me. Maybe because I was quiet, maybe because I was shy, maybe because I was introverted, maybe because I've always been a little bit different, considered a little bit weird, because of I have sort of a creative internal world that I like to sort of delve into, and perhaps not being part of the group. I've always sort of been like that. But anyway, I got sort of targeted um, by this bully, and I remember he was pushing me around and pushing me around and pushing me around. And one of the things that I started to do was start karate. I started martial arts, and I have a great passion for martial arts. I still do. And that taught me a lot. That taught me confidence. That taught me assertiveness. That taught me so many skills. And I was doing my martial arts and things. And the bully came along, and, you know, he was giving me some grief and in my face and sort of pushing me around. And just something that I'd learned in martial arts was just a quick, you know, just how to punch, just how to give a bit of a punch. And I remember at one point I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed by it, and I had been doing all this martial arts training, so I just tapped him. I just threw a punch out and tapped him once, and I'll never forget his reaction and everybody else's reaction. It was like a shock wave. He did not expect that at all. It was such a shock to his system, and it almost like shattered his whole world. Well, I could see it in his face. It wasn't because the punch was hard or anything like that. It was just the fact that he never expected that I would actually punch back, that hit back, or to defend myself in any way. Never expected, and it completely shook his world. And he never bullied me again. And actually, we became kind of friends, which and there's a respect there. And the classic thing they say is, you've got to stand up to a bully. Now, bullies have their own challenges, right? This is what I've realized as I've got older. I'm not a psychologist. I just want to put that out there. I'm not a therapist or a psychologist or professionally trained, but because of my own life experiences, I've done a lot of research into things and tried to find solutions and understanding behind why people act the way they do. And in my own life, in different circumstances, I've come across different personality types, right? Bullies, toxic people, narcissists, sociopaths. I'm sure the occasional psychopath has also crossed my path at some point. And they're all about, aren't they? They're all about. You find them in families. You can find them in your friendship dynamics. You can find them in the workplace. How do you actually deal with these guys? How do you deal with these bullies? And it's a similar sort of thing to that school story that I told you, the story of me sort of punching back. Now, you don't got to, I'm not saying, although I do recommend martial arts, it's generally just a great thing to do for your health, fitness, mindset, and self-defense. But there's principles the same. of you being able to protect your boundaries, of you being able to protect yourself and to hit back when needed and in the appropriate way. And hit back doesn't mean physically, it could mean verbally. It could mean when your boundaries are being crossed and you're not happy about something, you're able to speak up and say it straight away. Why people cross boundaries, whether that be in family situations or in the workplace or wherever you are dealing with toxic people or bullies, is because they're testing. They're seeing what they can get away with you. You may appear to them to be a soft target. You may appear to be, a very empathic person, or somebody that's just very kind and giving, and a bit of a soft target. So they'll test you. And the mistake sometimes that we make, because we have a responsibility in this, is that we allow a boundary to be crossed. Somebody does something, some little thing, and you're not happy with it, right? But you allow it, you let it go, you let it go, you let it go, you let it go. And like that, that's the way in which things get out of hand. But what we need to start to do is to really protect our boundaries. The first step of that is to be aware. Oh, I wasn't quite happy about how I was spoken to there. I wasn't quite happy that I was asked to work late, even though we've agreed this particular situation. I wasn't happy about that, whatever that boundary that's been crossed is. So you bring it to your awareness. Journaling's been massive for me, because that's where I kind of like journal my thoughts, and then I'm able to process that, bring it to my awareness, and then take appropriate action. Actually speak up and say what you need to say. Stop. No, I'm not happy to do that. I wasn't happy about that. It's that communication skill. It's assertive communication skill, and it's a skill, right? Like I said, I was a shy, introverted person, not very confident. Now I'm teaching other people those confidence skills, those assertiveness skills. But it is a skill that you can learn. And when you do that, people get the idea that, okay, the boundary is there. And you're able to sort of defend yourself and strike back. And what I've learned about, sort of, as I was saying, what I've learned about sort of bullies or toxic people or narcissists, they have their own trauma sometimes. They have their own things that have happened in their life that have turned them into the way they are. Okay, maybe that's their coping mechanism, becoming a sort of a narcissist or a sociopath or whatever it is, right? That they turn into it. But that doesn't change the fact that people should not abuse you or disrespect you or cross your boundaries, right? And if they do, what you need to do is learn those confidence and assertiveness skills and be able to communicate and hit back and just say, look, no, that's my boundary. I'm not happy with that. And know that there's going to be a consequence for it. And in the workplace, I would say, you just need to do that through communicating your boundaries, very professionally, and talking to the powers that be if need be, talking directly to people, whatever strategy works. Ultimately, I would also say, at all costs, protect your own peace and your own well-being and your own state of mind, which means that if you are in a toxic workplace or you have got toxic people around you, excuse me, the best thing you can do is actually get yourself out of that situation. Get yourself away. Make a plan to just sort of look for another job, or even to the point where sometimes you've just got to cut people out of your life, because it protects your peace, it protects your boundaries. So, have confidence in yourself, develop those communication, confidence, assertiveness skills. If you'd like my help on this, I do deliver workshops and coaching around these sort of areas. Please do get in contact with me. I hope that gave you some food for thought. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.